is Nuratakia. I will explain to you about introduction of our home experiment 1, which is pollution catcher. The definition of air monitoring is to collect information that can be used to make decisions about how to best manage and improve the environment. Why? There are many reasons, such as to determine the intensity of contaminants in air shared and comparing it to standards and guidelines. Next, it is to carry out the air quality research, also to know the main pollutants level in the environment, and also to supply air pollution levels for policy or strategy development. Air Pollutant Index or API is used to measure the ambient air quality. Instead of using actual concentration of pollutants, API is used. The Malaysian API resembles the Pollutant Standard Index from US Environmental Protection Agency. As it shows in the picture, the API for 0 to 50 is considered good, while API that is more than 301 is considered harmful. What is air sampling? Air sampling is a technique for determining the presence of airborne contaminants in your environment. There are different methods and techniques for collecting air samples exist. The selection of procedure depends upon the type of contaminant you want to test for the air for. Some common sampling methods include: first is whole air sampling, the easiest way and is effective for collecting samples of permanent gases present in the air, the reduced sulfur compounds and volatile organic compounds. Second is active sampling. It is usually used for collecting volatile and semi-volatile organic compounds. Next is passive sampling. Passive sampling is the opposite of the active sampling technique. It relies on a diffusion process for abrasion of contaminants of the solvent instead of actively pulling the air through the tube containing solvent. Next is filter sampling. Using a sampling plug to pull the air sample through a filter cassette, it is collecting contaminants in vapor form. Last but not least is impinges sampling. Air is bubbled through a reactive liquid solution and the contaminant present in the sample will chemically react with the liquid. There are many types of air pollution control equipment such as scrubbers, a physical process used by industry to remove particulates and gases from industrial emissions. Scrubbers are classified into two types, which is dry and wet scrubbers. Next is air filters. It uses a specific type of filtration media to control air pollution, to collect and remove dry particulate and contaminant from air passing through them, such as chemicals, microbes, and dust. These devices are used in residential, commercial, and industrial settings to remove pollutants. Next is cyclones. It separates dry particulate matter from gaseous emissions in the same way that air filters do. But cyclones use centrifugal force to collect and remove particulate rather than filtration media. Next is incinerators. Pollutants are broken down into non-toxic byproducts using combustion methods. They are the most commonly used in a variety of industrial applications to maintain the air quality and regulate gas emission by converting VOCs, hydrocarbons, and other hazardous air pollutants into innocuous compounds. Last but not least is biofilters. To control air pollution that use microorganisms such as bacteria and fungi to degrade and remove water-soluble compounds. The microorganisms in biofilter absorb and metabolize gases polluted like VOCs and organic HFP without producing byproducts like NO and CO that are typically produced during combustion. Pollution catcher is one example of home experiment that can be done in order to test and see how dirty and polluted the environment around us. Since it is not harmful and have very simple method, it is not dangerous even to children. The experiment only needs commonly apparatus and materials such as paper plate, string, and Vaseline. So I will pass the presentation to the next presenter. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Ahmad Hanis, and this is Hanis inside and outside house result. There are more outside dust compared to the inside, and this is Safwan result. There are more dust inside the house compared to the outside. Here comes to the discussion. First of all, the dust catcher is an air pollution monitoring device. The sampling of the dust taken in passive sampling where there is no mechanism to attract the dust. The dust is simply accumulated at the sticky surface of the plate. This is also a continuous sampling where the plate is left for 7 days. It also considered as area sampling because the plate is placed in certain area, which is inside and outside the house. Theoretically, the outside place should have more dust due to the exposure of the surrounding. This is proven by Honey's outside plate, which has more dust accumulated. The placement also important as Honey's plate is placed near to the smoking area where dust usually come from the cigarette ashes. However, Safwan result showing that inside plate has more dust. This is due to the monthly cleaning activity that make the dust easily travel around, thus sticking around the inside plate.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Azim bin Azahir and now I will explain about the results of the discussion. For the first thing is I will explain about the characteristic of the Vaseline. It was discovered on 1859 by Robert Augustus Chisbrough, who is the chemist that devised and patented the process. Vaseline, also called as petroleum jelly, which is a mixture of minerals, oils, and wax that form a semi-solid jelly-like substance. The process of the production is it go through the crude material and it goes vacuum distillation, and then the still residue will be filtered through boncha to yield petroleum jelly. The Vaseline is odorless semi-solid, which consists of a mixture of hydrocarbons of 1,1,2-trimethylbenzene and due to its base of oil, it can be a good lubricant compared to water-based lubricant because it will not dry out. Okay, so next, this is the results that obtained for the location in UniKL Micet. So for the particles collected inside compared to two different locations, which is hostel block E and hostel block B, total polluted for the hostel block E is 6 in the inside, while 4 at the outside. And for the particle collected outside, at the hostel block E, total particles collected is 13, while total particles collected for the block B is 22. Okay, so basically this is the bar chart to show the difference between block B and block E. So basically, result obtained shows the different particles collected inside and outside. Inside shows slightly difference with only two difference, where block B collected 4 particles, where block E collected 6 particles in the outside. However, at the outside location show quite a big difference, where block B there is 22 particles collected, while at the block E there is 13 particles collected. So for the air pollution inside, even though inside pollution catcher does not expose to the environment, however, due to the activity in the room, it contributed to the air pollution, which include deodorant, smoking, CO2, dust and dust mites, and also outdoor air, which also may enter the room through ventilation. Next is the air pollution outside, where outdoor air pollution originates from a natural and anthropogenic source. While natural sources contribute substantially to local air pollution and arid regions more prone to forest fire and dust storms, the contribution from human activities far exceeds natural sources, which include fuel combustion, which is as a major pollution at UniKL Micet. So from the fuel combustion, it will release the carbon monoxide, nitrogen oxide, and also sulfur dioxide. So what is the effect of the air pollution? Referring to the image of pollution catcher at the outside, both of them turned yellow after being left for 1 week, which was exposed to the sunlight. This is due to the sunlight. It accelerates the oxygen may lead to shorten the drain intervals. Long-chain hydrocarbons react with oxygen in the presence of ultraviolet from the sun, and thus it forms conjugated aldehydes, ketones, and ester, which this absorb visible light to appear yellow at low concentration. So what is the relationship with the air pollution? So basically, air pollution from fuel emission may lead to the ozone depletion. So ozone is a gas that occurs both at ground level and in the Earth's upper atmosphere, known as stratosphere. In stratosphere, ozone forms a layer that protects life on Earth from the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays. Unfortunately, by human activities, the ozone layer being gradually destroyed and increase the amount of UV radiation to reach the Earth. So finally, this is the ways to reduce the air pollution. The first thing is we can carpooling whenever we want to go any destination. Then we can turn off the lights and appliances when they are not in use. Next, we can use energy efficient light bulbs and appliances. Fourth, we can buy fewer things that are manufactured using fossil and fuels. And finally, we can always recycle and reuse the items. So that's all from me. Thank you.